So for this video, I wanted to touch upon what my plans are for NaNoWriMo and what that means for me in October and all of that. I am a little bit late to the party, but I am going to pick something.
You can't say you didn't see this coming. Finally got some inspiration right again.
Hey, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first video. My name is Hananya and I usually create writer-related content in the form of vlogs every Friday and then a more sit-down video every Monday. So for those of you not familiar with NaNoWriMo, basically NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month and it happens in November every year, and it's basically an event that brings all the writers together, or people that like writing, and we all try to achieve the same goal, which is write 50,000 words in the month of November. There is a whole website dedicated to this that figures out your word count that you need to get every day, and it calculates if you've missed a day. It's there, and it's pretty trackable, I guess. So usually what comes before November is October, right? And October is Preptober, which basically means you use the month of October to kind of prepare yourself for NaNoWriMo, for writing the 50K in November. And with that, you can kind of start plotting, you can kind of figure out your characters, create like some inspirational like vision board, or if like that's something that you do, or create like a playlist that's going to help you when you're writing. Anything that you consider prep for getting you to the point where you can finish that book, or you can finish the 50K in November, that is what you kind of do in October. You can use it whatever way you want. And that is Preptober. So on to what I'm gonna do in October and November. Basically, I want to work on Project Sky, and I haven't really touched upon Project Sky a lot. I did record a Project Sky update, which I will insert now. During my Camp Nano of July, I worked on Project Sky, and I wanted to update you guys on it. So I have not done a whole lot because obviously I had that period where I was going on holiday, but was actually sick, and I didn't really work on anything during that time. And I've now been back for a couple weeks, and I've been wanting to get back into working on Project Sky. And obviously when I talked to one of my critique partners that I work specifically on Project Sky with, I brainstorm all of my ideas with her, and it's been really fun and great to have someone to kind of bounce ideas off of for a specific project. So we had a call on Saturday and we talked about just life stuff, but it did get me excited to work on Project Sky again. So what I ended up doing is grabbing my notebook. So I have this notebook that I work on Project Sky in, and I had kind of already done kind of not really an outline fully, but I had some like scene ideas that I wrote down with, you know, pen in here. So that is kind of where I've been with this project, and I figured I would put them into my Scrivener document and kind of check how the scenes would flow and see like, okay, if I include this, then I can include this in the next person's point of view and everything. So I have 4 points of view from other characters that is not the main character necessarily, if that makes sense. So the story is about this girl, but I'm trying to write it from other people's perspectives. That's kind of where we're at. So I've been thinking, and I've decided that maybe for NaNoWriMo, I want to put the goal to rewrite Project Sky, because I feel like if I use now until November, so I figured if I do all of this as like a prep and I have a full outline of what I want this story to become, I can actually do the writing as my NaNoWriMo project, because I don't know what else I would write. I mean, I have plenty of book ideas that I can choose from, you know, you can go watch my part 1 and part 2 of the unfinished projects tag. I obviously want to get this project done, and I feel like if I just make sure that this is a set goal of writing this, I might be able to do it, you know? I might be able to push through and do this as a NaNoWriMo project. That's kind of where I'm at with Project Sky right now, so yay. So back to current day, which today is the 4th of October. So since that, I really have not touched Project Sky. I feel like I only touch Project Sky when I have the critique partner call and not really like that much in between. So I have not really done a lot on this project. We're just gonna pretend like I didn't do anything in September and I'm going to do all the prep in Preptober. That's basically what we're doing. So I'm kind of trying to make a plan of what my Preptober will look like and what I want to get done for Preptober for this project. Basically, what I have now is a little bit of a scene outline of what I just explained back in September. And I kind of already wrote down kind of some scenes. I definitely feel like I need to put it in a different format. Right now it's just in a document and I just wrote it all under each other. I think what I want to do is rearrange that into actual scene cards that I can do in Scrivener. So that's what I'm thinking of doing with all the information I currently have, so I can kind of rearrange it if I think it needs to flow differently, and I can kind of color them and make sure I color them per character and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I want to do in the first week, I think. Then as we're going to the second week, I kind of also want to do kind of a test scene and kind of write that in different tenses and different points of view, because I am going to have multiple POV in this book. I am just now trying to figure out, do I write this first person or third person? I'm leaning towards first person, but I'm gonna see with that. And I also don't know if I want to write it past or present tense, so I kind of also have to see about that, and I don't really know how to really go about it. I just kind of want to test out how I feel about that and kind of see if that's actually what works for the story and if that flows well if I'm trying to write it. So that is a little bit what I want to do in the second week. Then I'll get back to you. For week 3 of October, I kind of want to figure out my characters a little bit more in depth. I think I have a good kind of feel for my characters because I have been thinking about this project for so long. I feel like I am good with all of the things that I want to achieve. I just want to kind of write down some of the main key things for my characters so I can implement those in the chapters. And that is kind of what I'm thinking about doing as well. And then I also want to kind of figure out like the long line stuff, you know, like kind of the short elevator pitch on what my book is about, so that if people ask me, I can just be like, this is it, this is what my book is about. So I think that is kind of what I'd want to figure out. In the third week, I'm also taking a trip. I'm going to see a friend and I might potentially film something, so look out for that in a couple weeks on my channel. That means I won't have a full week dedicated to work stuff. I know that we will also be working on things. It's not just gonna be a vacation. We're gonna do kind of a working vacation. We're both gonna work on things, but yeah, that does mean I have a little bit less time, and that kind of extends into week 4. So we'll see what I actually get done at week 3. So basically in week 4, I think I just want to wrap up everything that might not have been picked up on the prep. So that's kind of where I'm at with Preptober. So the goal of this Preptober is just to make sure I have everything and I can just pop out all of these words, because I know I'm gonna be busy with other things. It's not just NaNoWriMo that I'm focusing on in November. I also have to obviously do video editing, which I mention every time. I'm sorry, I know being a YouTuber includes editing. Who knew? You know, I need to kind of figure out a good balance, and I kind of wrote down what I need to achieve every week. I basically said if I do 10K every week in November, because November it doesn't have 5 weeks, but it kind of does. It leads, like it starts in a week and then it kind of lingers half through a week in the end. So I figured, okay, it's kind of 5 weeks and I kind of just need to hit 10K every week, which if you think about it is not that much, because that just means like if I work 5 work days, that means 2,000 words each day, which is a lot, but it's also not too bad. I know that if I am in the zone and if I'm like really well known with the project and I can just type out everything that I think, I can usually get like 1,000 words an hour pretty easily. So I feel like it will be doable for me to achieve NaNoWriMo's goal of 50k. I have won Nano before, and I have a sticker that I claimed when I was doing the 50k in November, and that was in 2020. I've always kind of tried, even when I was in college and like university stuff, I've always tried to do Nano, and I don't know if I just never won. I think I did win, but it was on a different account. So basically what I want to do is announce my project now with you guys. So we're gonna announce a new project. I am going to call this Project Sky. And then we are going to call this, well, we're currently prepping. It's October, but I'll just say in progress. Public, that's fine. It's a novel, and I'm gonna relate it to NaNoWriMo 2022. So go on to your goal. We're writing 50k. Because it's already related to NaNoWriMo 2022, you can't adjust your goal. It's basically just the goal is to write 50k in November. You do also have Camp Nanos, which is one of the things I did in July. I also have a video of that, so I can link that in the cards for you. With that, you can kind of choose what your goal is. So you can say you want to edit or you want to read or like stuff like that. And you can kind of just, you know, figure it out yourself. But for November, it's always this. So genres, it's romance and it's drama. Yeah, I don't have a project summary, I don't think. Basically, that's it. I've announced my project on the Nano website. It is official. I am going to do this for November. This is me holding myself accountable and making sure I actually do this. But I'm really excited to write this project, or like rewrite this project, because technically I did already have a draft of this at some point, but it just wasn't working. So we're just gonna rewrite the whole thing and figure this project out. So I'm excited. If you want to become buddies on the NaNoWriMo website, let me know in the comments or leave your username and I will add you as my buddy on the Nano website. Because the more the merrier, and you know, it's always great to connect. So let me know what you will be working on for Nano if you are, and I hope that everything is gonna be great. Let me know if you're doing the Preptober thing, and let's just hope that we can work on these books and get to a point where we are really proud of what we've achieved in November. So good luck with the prepping, and catch you guys in the next video. Okay, so I do have a short description here. Yeah, this is, I don't like this summary. I'm not gonna add it. I know what I'm doing, but I'm doing just